Welcome to Conscious Coupling, where Frederic and Christy Whitman share their experiences of creating a conscious, connected relationship. Every week, they give practical tools, steps, and processes to help you find the loving connection with your partner. Let's get into today's conversation with Frederic and Christy.
You know what you should do in your relationship?
Is not give me any advice?
Correct! This episode, hi everyone, it's Christy Whitman.
And Frederic Gobet.
We're going to talk about what is the worst advice you've ever received about your relationship or for your relationship.
Unwanted advice, that is.
Unsolicited advice and solicited advice. What if you go to a therapist or a counselor and they give you really bad advice? So we have a very different perspective. We are not therapists, not that there's anything wrong with therapy. I had therapy for years. Therapy is a very important practice, so is counseling. But when someone is telling you what you should do, what you ought to do, what you have to do, giving you advice about your relationship and telling you your next steps, I am always very weary of that, because who is anybody to tell me what to do in my life? The only one that has authority over you or with you is your divine being, is your own innate wisdom, is your own intuition. You have all the wisdom inside of you. You have all the information. Now, what Frederic and I do is we share things that have worked for us. We share what has got us out of the drama triangle and has moved us into the circle of love. We have shared and will continue to share some of the communication skills and the conflict resolutions and the way that we create our goals and our visions together and all these different things. We're here suggesting things to you, but we are never, ever going to give you advice, because who are we to tell you what to do? We ask you questions that returns you back to your own inner wisdom, and that's what it really needs to be. So if anyone is telling you what you should or shouldn't do, either if it's unsolicited, and Frederic's going to talk about that in a second, or if it is solicited, you go to a therapist and they tell you what to do, you have to check in with yourself. I just want to give a quick situation. I had a client named Cheryl that I was working with. I always change the names to protect the innocence. And Cheryl had been in a over 25-year marriage to a wonderful man. And yet, it'd been 25 years of built up pain body, 25 years of things that she pushed under the rug and didn't process. So when I was working with Cheryl, she started to release some of those things and started to see the positive aspects of her marriage and in her marriage and of her partner. Simultaneously, she went to a therapist, and the therapist took her down a line of questioning to bring out what was she frustrated with, could she not handle anymore, questions like, on a scale of 0 to 100, where are you wanting a divorce? These kind of questions that are negative questions are going to lead someone down that track of focusing on what they don't want to continue, what they get frustrated with, and it will not bring someone back to their inner alignment. It won't bring someone back to the fact that this person that you're in a marriage with is a divine assignment. And if you really do love that person and you really do want to work it out, your divine self, their divine self, looks at you and them as someone that is loved and adored and is only looking at the positive aspects of you and them. So when you look at what are the positive aspects, what are the things that you appreciate about your partner, instead of how frustrated are you? Because it'd be really easy when you're frustrated to focus on the things that you're frustrated about. But as you continue to focus on that, you're activating more of that vibration. And it's going to be really easy to go, you know what, I've had 25 years of this frustration. I don't need it anymore, even though we've shared kids, all this kind of stuff. I'm done, right? But what if you actually looked at, I've shared 25 years with this person. I love this person. I care about this person. And I would like the relationship to be better and different. I'd like it to be better and different in this way. And there's things that I have to release within myself, my own resentments, my own frustrations, and come back to a space of love and light. The relationship, and we've seen this many times, opens up in a very different way.
Right.
It's like pushing the reset button on your relationship.
And how about finding new ways to connect with each other? How about finding new things about what your partner loves now after being together for 10, 15, 20 years, there's still new stuff with both of you in a couple are growing together, and your interests are changing, your love of things are changing, all things around you are changing as well.
Right. This is having a mature relationship. This is being able to, give yourself your best advice because you're connected with your own inner being. You're connected with your own feelings. This allows you to have a truly happy marriage. This will allow you to, have relationship growth and get to know each other, right? So the relationship advice is the one that you want to maybe get a second opinion, but find someone that's going to put you towards what you do want and not what you don't want. So if you're working with someone that is more focused on the things that are wrong and bad, you may want to find someone, maybe like us, Frederic and Christy, that are going to guide you in a way in the direction that you do want to get so that you're getting the best advice, even though we don't give advice, that you're getting the best guidance, you're getting the best focus so that what you do attract in your life is more of what you want and less of what you don't. So let's talk about unsolicited advice.
Right, because it's coming also from a neutral point of view, right? So with us, for example, we're giving you some suggestions. We're giving you tools for you to work with. So and we're not coming from a place where it's biased. For example, with a family member, right, or friends, obviously they might give you some advice knowing that you feel a certain way about the couple, the relationship, the person you're with, whatever. And so that is really where it's unsolicited advice that you don't really want to have from friends or family. And then what happens is oftentimes we want to vent on what's going on with friends and family. We want to say whether we're disappointed with something, and often that's why we vent. We're disappointed with a certain situation, and we talk about it. Now, that's what we wanted to say, right?
Right. So, like, if I was going to be frustrated, or if I'm frustrated with Frederic, I could call my girlfriend Dawn and just go, "Oh my God, I need to vent." And she listens to me and will go, "Oh my God, that sucks," and she'll do that whole thing, and I'll, blah, 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 and I'm able to just vent it, to let it go. It's a way for me, because I'm an extrovert, allow me to help release that energy and feel it and let it go, right? She doesn't go, "Well, you know what you should do." She doesn't do that. There's other people that we know, that shall remain nameless, that will be talking, and all of a sudden will start giving us advice about what we should do in our relationship. And we just look at them like, we're good, right? Like, we're fine. So there's a big difference, and you might find that you do that with other people too, is that you try to just give them advice without them asking. And that's playing the rescuer role inside the drama triangle, because what it does is, say that Frederic goes to vent to someone he knows, right, about me, right? I'm the bad guy, he's the victim, and this person giving him unsolicited advice, playing the rescuer, we're now all in the drama triangle. But if someone is starting to give you advice that you don't want, just say to them, "Thanks, I'm good though. We're good. We got it figured out," or "We'll work it out." So it's a boundary to say that, you know what, we don't need someone coming in our relationship and giving us advice that we didn't ask for, right?
Right. I don't need a suggestion on what needs to be done right now. What I need you to do is just put the listening hat on, right? Put the ears, so that you're actually recognizing that I'm wanting to get rid of that frustration that's inside of me, so I just want to vent it out. I want someone to hear me. And women do that really, really good, really well.
Yeah.
They know that, we need to talk about certain things. We're frustrated about a situation. Men, on the other hand, we don't necessarily know that when there's a frustration inside and we are wanting to talk about it and say to the other person, to our buddy, for example, "Hey, I'm just wanting to vent out this situation. I'm not wanting to have you say, 'Oh yeah, she's a bad guy. She's wrong. She's not doing it right,' or he's the bad guy." That's not what it's about. It's just listen to what's happening, and so we're not too good at just saying, "Well, you know what? I need to get rid of the charge that's inside of me. There's a lot of frustration that's going on. I just want to talk about it." So that's not easy to figure out. inside of us.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask all you viewers. What is the worst advice you've ever been given in your relationship? I'm not going to say who. I'm going to share mine. I'm not going to say who it came from. But I had someone told me that I needed, when we were first dating, that I needed to give him an ultimatum because I wanted to get married. And that I should tell him that if we don't get married, it's over. That was the worst, I think, advice.
Luckily, she didn't do that.
Yeah. Luckily, I had a girlfriend, Dawn, that I called and said, I just got this advice. And she's like, oh my God, that's crazy. You're going to lose him if you do that. I'm like, I would never do that. So what is the worst advice you've ever been given? Do you know what the worst advice in a relationship that you've ever been given?
Don't get married.
Oh. Seriously?
Well, I mean, we hear it, I've heard it a lot of times from friends, from guys just talking together, right? Just don't get married.
Wow. Aren't you glad you didn't listen to him?
I'm glad I listened to my inner self when I met the right one.
Aw, that's me.
Oh, yeah, it's you.
Aw.
There you go, Rob, just for you.
Our producer says we're schmoopy. So, schmoopy. Like from Seinfeld. Hi, schmoopy. Schmoopy. No.
You're the one who remembers all these episodes. I don't.
I know. So we want to know. Leave us a comment of what is the worst advice you've ever been given. And one thing I want to just have you take away and leave is that, we're under the influence. We're taking in, we are literally energy, and we have receptor sites on every single one of our cells. So we are under the influence of energy all the time. And so we can receive energy and opinions and advice and all kind of energy that's coming at us from different people in our lives. We could also be in the energy receiving mode of our divine self. And so when it's coming from other people, you really have to really decipher, be discerning who you want to receive advice from. And look at that person and say, is this a person that I want to have their kind of lifestyle? I want to have the results that they have in their life. I'm not going to take advice from someone that's been married and divorced 3 times, right? Probably not the person that's going to give me that best advice. So if someone's giving me solicited or unsolicited advice, be discerning as far as who you're listening to. One of my friends that's a soccer mom was saying that she was taking her child to a therapist and she got guilted into signing up for another session. And what I said is, no one can ever make us feel how we don't choose to feel. That's the first step in empowerment, is understanding that if someone's trying to guilt us or shame us into do something, and we accept it, that's ours, that's on us. And that is being under the influence of someone else. We have to be able to say yes to what feels good to us and no to what doesn't feel good to us. And that's how you start to listen to your own inner voice. That's how you start to take your own best advice, and that's how you start getting influenced energetically from your divine self, who always loves and adores you.
And that advice that you're getting, you can ask yourself, is this the best thing that I can do for myself right now? Is this the best advice that I can get right now? So look at it and feel that instead of taking it and just going with it, right? You're allowed to figure out, all right, let me think about it first. Is that something that I want to do?
Don't accept it just face value.
Yeah.
Question it. Is that right for me? Yeah, good point.
That'll feel better.
Awesome. Well, let us know what you're taking away, and let us know what is the worst advice you've ever been given in your relationship. And next week, we are going to be talking about how to keep your relationship exciting, how to have a mindful, loving, love manifestation relationship. So we're going to give you 10 points of how to spice it up. Have a great week.
See you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Conscious Coupling with Frederic Gobet and Christy Whitman. If you like our show and want to know more, check out ChristyWhitman.com. And please leave us a review on iTunes. Learn how to turn your partner into your soulmate. Join us again next week for another powerful episode.